lesson is talking about ordering rational numbers. And if you wonder what a rational number is, basically, if I said think of a number, you're thinking of a rational number. Even if you're trying to be difficult and think of -7 or -13, all rational. Even if you're thinking of something like 1/4 or 1/3, fractions are rational too. Only type of numbers that are not rational are called irrational. We're going to save that for a different lesson. So today, let's focus on a couple of fractions which are totally rational numbers. Now when I have them like this, I got that circle in the middle. Is 1/4 less than 1/3? Or is 1/4 greater than 1/3? Now remember, these guys can be turned into decimals. So 1/4, hopefully you know that's 0.25. And 1/3, hopefully you know that's 0.33. Or 3333333. But we'll just shorten it to say 0.33. Now if it looks like 0.25 and 0.33, what's bigger? Well, it's like 25 cents and 33 cents. So clearly 1/3 is bigger. So if I had to put a sign between it, I'd put this one right here. And now reading this like a math sentence, it is 1/4 is less than 1/3. But let's change this up. What happens if instead of both of them being positive, they're both negative? When two numbers are both negative, the bigger number, well, that's the one that's closer to 0 on a number line. But let's think of them like, think of negative numbers as like evil, right? They're both bad, but the bigger number is going to be the one that is less evil. So if you have negative 0.25, you have like 25 cents of evil, and you have negative 0.33, well, that one's more evil. So which one's better? This one right here. So we would put this sign in between and say negative 1/4 is greater than negative 1/3. Just remember, whenever you have two numbers that are both negative, the one that is the lesser evil is the bigger number. For the next example, let's look at the document camera, and I'm going to give you 4 different numbers, some positive, some negative, and we're going to try to put them in order from least to greatest. All right, let's go to the camera. Okay, here we are on example 2, and you can see I've got 4 numbers. I've got negative 1/4, positive 1/3, 2 3/10, and negative 1/2. Order the following numbers from least to greatest. Now the first thing we're going to do is convert each one of these numbers into a decimal. Then we'll be able to tell smallest to biggest, or least to greatest. So scoot the paper over here, and let's start with negative 1/4. Now just a minute ago on the chalkboard, I went through and told you negative 1/4 is the same as negative 0.25. You should probably just have that one memorized. And 1/3, we also talked about that one. Remember that was, well, since it's positive, we'll just say it's 0.33. Now 2 3/10, I bet some of you probably could tell me what that is, but I want to refresh you a little bit on the calculator. Let's say you want to put in 2 3/10. First you're going to have to hit the second button, because just a regular fraction button does this. If you want to put in a mixed fraction, you hit second fraction. 2 3/10. Some of you might have already guessed it, already written it down. It is going to be, enter, well, 23/10. Or, remember, if you want to make a decimal out of it, hit this guy right there, the old toggle button, 2.3. So 2 3/10 is 2.3. But remember, if you want, it'll make it easier, add another decimal right here so it looks like $2.30. And lastly, negative 1/2. Hopefully you can remember what negative 1/2 is. If not, let's take a stroll down the calculator lane here. I'm going to hit the negative button first. This one. Don't ever hit this for negative. If you're going to hit a negative button, it's got to be there. Fraction button, 1/2. Oh, here's a little trick. Instead of hitting enter and then toggling, you could just go ahead and put the toggle button right there. Now when I hit enter, auto, negative 0.5. This is negative 0.5. But remember, add an extra decimal. Let's get 2 decimals in there so they all have 2 decimals. All right, first we're going to put these in order from least to greatest. So the least, though, from left to right, the least is going to have to be one of these 2 negative numbers. Now what we want to think is the least. If these negative numbers are like evil numbers, the worst one is the least. The most evil of the negatives is the least. So an evil 25 cents or an evil 50 cents. Well, evil 50 cents is more. There's more evil. So this is the least. I'm going to put an L next to it for least. So this is the least, and then this one is going to go second. Now, which one is going to go third? So now you go to the positive numbers. First is negative 50 cents, then negative 25 cents. Now go regular. We're going big, so 33 cents would be third. And then $2.30, I'm going to put a G next to it because it is the greatest. All right, the negative numbers. The least one that we had was negative 1/2. Remember, that was negative 0.50. You could put 0 in front. I didn't do it. This next one was negative 1/4, which was negative 0.25. Then we had positive 1/3, which was 0.33. And then we had 2 and 3 tenths, which was the largest one, which came out to 2.30. And that's it. Always check, though, if they say least to greatest, you put the worst negative first and then go down to the best negative or the least evil negative and then stop. And then start going with the least to the greatest like normal once you get to the positives. And that is it.